Hey, it's Jackie and welcome back for an epic spring makeup tutorial. I can't be the only one who's obsessed with this Yves Saint Laurent 1999 spring-summer fashion show. This was the closing look. It is amazing and I decided to DIY it because it has lived on my Pinterest board for forever. So I hope you guys like this very pink and angelic makeup look. Usually I DIY off camera for little props, but I thought I would show you how I created my own DIY couture, and let's get started with the makeup. I'm using K-Beauty skincare to start off. I'm working with Benton Cosmetics to show you the first product, which is an essential. If you've purchased North American sunscreens and you have not enjoyed them, give Benton Cosmetics AirFit UV Defense Sunscreen with SPF 50 a try. It feels very light on the skin, super hydrating. You can see how fast it absorbs here, and the texture is light like water. The chemical sunscreen smells nice, and it has a strong UV protection with no white cast or stickiness at a great price point. The AirFit also has the triple function of brightening and wrinkle care as an added plus, so basically, it's an awesome product, and I used to be guilty of not wearing sunscreen every day. I know how important it is, but I've tried so many sunscreens that I did not like under makeup, but this one is amazing. And the secret to glass skin or glowy skin, plus this protects from blue light from screens as well. Like, even if I don't anticipate on going outside, I still like to wear it for some added protection. You can order Benton on Amazon. It's vegan as well. I always have some little bumps along my jawline and under my jawline, so I have to be really careful which base products I use, because if it's not made for acne-prone or oily skin, those bumps become painful pimples. So this is suitable for acne-prone skin. And another everyday product to try from Benton is their Honest Eyelash Serum. It has a cute little ball at the end, so you can apply it to your lashes easily with the wand, and then through your bottom lashes using the ball. You can use it through your brows as well. I plucked off a couple awkward hairs, so I want them to grow back. And you can wear this on your own for like a no makeup look. And how it works is it contains 2 types of peptides, 17 types of amino acids, all the good stuff to strengthen your lashes. You can even put it in your hairline. So those are 2 steps from Benton that I've been using daily, and you can put makeup on top of these products, which is great. Thank you, Benton, for working with me on this portion of the video. Seriously, I love these products. And now for some more familiar favorites that I always rave about. I try to pick out a variety of items for my tutorials. Usually the most expensive item that I consistently show is Charlotte Tilbury products for foundation and highlight. This combo, the Hollywood Flawless Filter in shade 3 and the Beautiful Skin in shade 4 mixed together, is my favorite. On my forehead, I just use the Flawless Filter because I do have fine lines there, so I like to use less product, but I still like some glow. I'm going with 2 of my favorite cream products. These are the Too Faced Born This Way Sculpting Concealers, and they're super high coverage, but you can use them sparingly and blend out into foundation. Lots of coverage without it looking very heavy. And look at how much it brightens up that under eye. To give warmth to the skin, adding bronzer and blending away. I think the biggest makeup mishap that I see so often is jawline contour. I feel like it's the 2020 version of the 2000s not blending the foundation down the neck. So make sure to blend. I have definitely struggled with that a couple times. Like, I don't go with an ashy contour under my jawline. This has been my everyday blush, but since this look is a little bit more dramatic for the blushiness, we're gonna go with the Rare Beauty Iconic Blush in the shade Joy. Still one of my favorite Rare Beauty products, and I'm applying it closer to the nose than I usually would, kind of a U shape on both of the cheeks. I noticed in Laetitia's makeup, there was a very cool tone pink on the eye, coral pink on the cheeks. I have neutral skin tones, so I can wear warm and cool shades quite well, but if you're cool toned, instead of going warmer on the cheeks, you might want to still go with a cooler tone. You can always play with this to make it your own. Lawless Forget the Filler Lip Plumping Mask. I'm applying this so my lips are hydrated, and the Forget the Filler lip care is amazing. Oh, I love the whole line. Before setting with powder, I'm gonna lock in all my cream products with a setting spray. And this one, oh my god, it made my hair all wet. It isn't the finest mist, but I've been wanting to pick this up simply for the packaging. I love Hello Kitty. And let's set the makeup. This is my all-time favorite powder. Even though it's completely white, it has no color, actually translucent. I tap over the areas that I don't want any shine and it mattifies beautifully, but it doesn't look powdery, just like mattified skin. I don't know how they do it, but I leave some areas on the side of my face to still be dewy. I'd recommend this for normal to dry skin, and then slightly oily skin. If you are very oily, you'll probably have to keep applying, which is okay because it doesn't get cakey, but they do have a loose powder that is even more mattifying, so you might want to go with that one. I was sent so many ColourPop blushes, which is perfect for this look. You might have a blush palette with similar shades, or if you want to pick up inexpensive blush colors, ColourPop has you covered. First up, the coolest pink tone that I picked out, and I'm applying in a U shape under the head of my brow and then fading past the tail of the brow. Adding this higher up on the cheeks, and there's the first pink. For a bit more dimension, this is a slightly deeper shade. It has a bit more of a plum to it. With a subtle neutral brown, you could use an eyeshadow or a light bronzer. Add this under the eye, and little steps like this will make sure that the look is complete. Even though we're not going to go with like false lashes or a bunch of mascara, you still have that subtle sculpting in there. I was going to just use blushes on my eyes to make this look super easy, but then I remembered I got this Holy Fairy Tale palette last year. It has like every pink you could imagine and also some purples and blues. It's such a fun spring palette, so I wanted to show it to you, and I added more pops of subtle purple to kind of cool down the pinks. I was still feeling like it was reading a bit too warm on me, and then a pop of sparkle on the lid. Trying this Lawless product for brows, keeping them natural even though I love a good Brooke Shields Blue Lagoon brow. I plucked some of mine off, but I have been liking how they still look full but a little bit less of a statement, and I'm creating a longer tail and keeping a rounded shape. Totally optional, but something I thought was really fun. It looked like there was a bit of a peach or pink throughout her brows. A little avant-garde, but it's still subtle enough and you could totally get away with it for a daily look, especially with the pink blended up from the brow bone. Tight lining, I chose to go with black. You could go with brown if you want it even softer. Curling the lashes with a double curl, so first the tips and then at the base. Learned that from Erin Parsons. And something that was pretty cool with this look is there wasn't big lashes. It looked really natural, so I'm going to just touch the mascara wand to the root of the lash. There's basically no product on this wand. Not even wiggling it all the way through, it's just kind of tinting the lashes. For the 90s Supermodel snatch, I'm using the gorgeous Laetitia Casta and creating a thinner, longer nose as my inspiration. I actually love how this contour turned out along the tip. I'll probably do a similar nose tip contour more often. Also, doesn't young Bella Hadid look so much like her? There's so much similarity there. For lip liner, I always go with Iconic Nude for overlining my top lip a bit. And this lip combo is gorgeous. It's not something I usually go for, but I picked up this shade from L'Oreal, this beautiful kind of purpley shade, and instead of applying it straight from the tube, I'm brushing it on and then blotting it. I did a couple test runs of this look, and when I did it straight from the tube, it was a bit too bold. Now for an ethereal touch with a bit of gloss, this one is by NARS. It's a really unique shade. I love using this one, especially moving into spring and summer. And there is the gorgeous Cherub inspired spring look using the prettiest pinks and peaches. I'm convinced the inspiration for this entire look was a cherub sculpture, and I also saw cherub makeup trending on TikTok. So here is a throwback of this angelic makeup style while it's trending. And before I show you the outfit, I quickly did an inspired hair look. First, add some heat protectant. I love this BB one. And the type of curler you want to use is either a really small wand if you want more of a ringlet look, or a bubble wand like I'm using here. My favorite way to use this is to just start at the top section, pick up pieces and wrap around. You'll see I have to unwrap it around the barrel, which I don't do that for any other type of wand, but for some reason it works the best this way. Curl the entire section away from the face. You can try to get as close as you can to the root of your hair, but we are going to put a flower crown on, so I'm not too worried about it. Repeat on the other side, and if you have shorter hair, you'll get an even tighter curl, which is more similar to Letitia's look, plus it won't take as long to curl your hair. Doing a light tease upwards and setting with hairspray. This makes the hair really fluffy and pretty. Great for a photo, but it is already so humid in Florida, my hair drops down pretty quickly outside. If you do need the curls to last, I would pin the curls and let them set, but I did not have time for that, so here's how I went about it. I created clips, and some that were just leaves, some that were flowers, and I'm adding them in a similar layout to the YSL design. Since it is inspired by Yves Saint Laurent, here is my favorite YSL fragrance called Mon Paris. It's a floral fragrance with sweet red berries, white musk. It is romantic and totally matches this style. Stay tuned for my little DIY behind the scenes. So how did I recreate this iconic couture piece on a budget? It was a pretty simple DIY. I just took some time to source similar shades of faux flowers and leaves, tried to keep them around the same size, using a reference picture to figure out the placement, and instead of sewing flowers onto the garment or gluing them directly on, I would have really needed my mom to help sew. I have a pink bandeau and underwear set from Amazon, and I'm gonna lay out where the flowers and leaves are gonna go just on the floor, and then add clips onto the clothing with flowers on them. I've anchored the flower on the top of the clip so that the snap isn't affected. So this holds. I used felt and a hot glue gun. You could use super glue as well. The hold's a lot better than just trying to stick the flower onto the clip. The clips either had to face down or upward because I was just wedging them into the bandeau. Moving on to the skirt, I found a foam wreath at Walmart and I cut it in half. It happened to fit right on my hips. And then I got about 6 feet of this pretty pink fabric that has some sheen to it, draped it over the wreath, cut it into a rounded shape at the back with a matching ribbon that has some wire in it. I'm crinkling it up like an accordion motion, expanding it back out, using that hot glue gun on the outside and inside, and we can't forget the little details like a floral wristlet and anklet. This ribbon's really pretty to add leaves to it. And I had a blast crafting this, and the whole style totally reminds me of my favorite designer, Fiore Couture. I've worn some of Susan's absolutely stunning pieces on Instagram and on my vlog channel. Check out Susan's Instagram for more couture inspiration with tons of flowers if you're into that. I do a lot of pop culture and vintage inspired looks, but if you do really love the ethereal aesthetic, check out my whimsical vlogs on my second page. I recently went to Walt Disney World, the most magical place on earth, with my best friend of 25 years. If you want more fun content to watch, or if you're looking for another beauty inspiration, this Audrey Hepburn funny face tutorial is another classic glam you might like. Big thank you again to Benton Cosmetics for working with me. I highly recommend this sunscreen, so check it out. It is linked in my bio and top comment, and I'll see you in my next video.